It's hard to tell from here, but over there behind me is a very big car. Okay, it's actually a small Mazda SUV, but it's a very big deal because it's Mazda's first production electric vehicle. It's called the MX-30, which is unconventional for a start, because it uses those beloved letters MX that are normally attached to the MX-5, the roads that everyone loves. And the idea there was to make this electric car feel familiar, when actually it's anything but. Because Mazda is one of those companies that has resisted getting into electricity. It has believed that it is better off for the world, reducing emissions wise, to concentrate on the cars that people are actually buying, internal combustion engines. And it has long worked on reducing the emissions from those cars and ignored the electric vehicle side of things. Now though, it's fully on board and says that its electric technology will be a part of every Mazda made by 2030. That doesn't mean they'll all be electric vehicles. They'll be doing plug-ins, they'll be doing hybrids, and they're going to do a very clever range extender, which will use their famous rotary engine. From some angles it looks fairly conventional, but it does have a lovely swooping roofline and that kind of neat nose. But there's something you'll notice that is quite radical, which is the freestyle doors, or suicide doors as I like to call them, which are last seen on the Mazda RX-8. And they are a very cool feature, opening up to create a real sense of space. Mazda says these doors will naturally invite in friends old and new, which is strange. There's more strangeness on the inside with some very environmental touches, like cork panelling, like you used to find on old 1970s placemats. It really does look and feel different and mindful. I feel peaceful just looking at it. From here you can see that sexy sloping coupe line at the back. It's really cool, and what the doors look like when they're closed. You'll also note those chunky wheel arches, which make it look like you're ready to go off-road. Of course, if you do, you won't get very far, because this car will only have a range of about 200 kilometres. That's because Mazda believes the best way to reduce emissions when building an electric car is to use the smallest battery possible, and that means less range. I was lucky enough to drive a pre-production version of this car in Norway not long ago and can report that it is excellent and feels more normal to drive than other EVs. The big question is whether we'll actually make it to Australia. Mazda aren't saying for sure yet. They're very interested, they're looking into it, but we're betting it'll be on the roads within 2 years.